What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let me get to the spot. Hey, everyone. What is going on? This is Plan Your Greatness, and I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And let's get started today. It's Woke Wednesday. Yes, it is. And I've got a question for you today. The question is, what do you do before you go to bed each night? All right, just think about that for a second. What do you have some sort of ritual? We're going to discuss that here on Woke Wednesdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel.
Damn, Missy Mari got.
Hey, we are back. We are here on Woke Wednesdays on the Plan Your Greatness TV channel. All right, I asked the question right before the break, and that is, what do you do before you go to bed each night? And the reason why I asked that question is I think it is crucial to setting up the next day, as opposed to what type of rituals you have right before you go to bed. Now, I believe it's so important that it's actually the last pillar in my video series, The 9 Pillars of Success. And I call it maximizing your day the night before. It's just really understanding what are you doing the night before that actually kind of springboards you into the next day. Now, I'm going to take you back a little bit. I'm going to take you back to when I was in prison. And I'm going to put on the screen my daily schedule. And it's going to show you approximately about what time I got up. 5 o'clock, 5:30. You know, we had breakfast. And then you can see during the day that there's not a lot of time me dilly-dallying around. There may be at the most maybe a half an hour break. You can't get very much done. You can't really get into something because you're going to need to get into something else. So what I'm getting at is, if you notice at the beginning of the day, there's some meditation in there. Then look at the end of the day, there's meditation in there. And that space is the space that I use as far as setting the tone for the day, and then at night, setting the tone for tomorrow. Now, one of the first things that I do before I go to bed is that I look at my day and I see what type of language I was using, what I was doing. Now, if it involved some negative ways that I looked at people, looked at myself, I immediately tried to replace them because I did not want to take those things into that sleep space. And I'm going to explain why I think that's important. The next thing that I would do is I would try to be very honest about my day. I'd be very optimistic about my day. But when I say honest, I'm saying that I'm going to try to be very accountable for what I did that day. Did I make that day productive? Was I being, in my words, was I being shitty about my day? And how was I thinking about my day? And again, if it's not in my best interest, I'm going to go back and I'm going to replace those thoughts with something positive. Now, the understanding is that under those circumstances, I knew I had to be super intentional and deliberate about what I was thinking. Because under those conditions, I'm going to be bombarded with language from the guards, language from other inmates that just says, you're worthless. Your life is over. There's nothing good going to come out of here. You'll be back in here. Everything that you could possibly think of that's going to tell me that my life is going to go in this funky direction, I was hearing that every day. So again, I had to be very intentional to take those words. And sometimes I would get caught up and I would say things about myself. So again, I needed to be very intentional. I needed to be very deliberate in how I was talking about myself before I was going into bed. Now, because I believe that if you are doing that, you're carrying that into your sleep. Now, I have this theory that everything that happens right as you go to sleep, all the way till before you wake up, you're in this space. Some people can, they give it all kinds of names, REM sleep and all the other stuff like that. But I believe at that particular point, you are having a conversation with the universe, or you're having it with God or Allah or Yahweh or however, the source, the spirit, the third eye, whatever you want to call it. I believe you're having that conversation with that entity. And I believe that why would you want to go into that conversation bitching and moaning about life, complaining, and have no action plan or anything. I think that is the time where you need to be, again, intentional, very deliberate about why you want things, what it is that you want. You need to be very specific about your accountability to things that you have control over. And then you need to look at the goals, you need to look at your plan, and you need to look at how you're going to take action. I believe that when you do that, I believe the universe goes, great, shoot, look at that. You got it together. You know where you're going. And I believe the universe can help you with that. But on the flip side of that, if you're going in there bitching and moaning, complaining, they're going to help you with that too. Now just think about that for a second. Which would you rather have help with? Your complaints or your plan of action to actually get rid of those complaints? Seems kind of like a no-brainer to me. And if you're actually walking in that space, I guarantee you are moving in the right direction of planning your greatness. All right. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit that notification bell so you can get updates. Also follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Most of these things are getting sent there as well. So when I put one thing out, I'm usually sending it to the other ones. So if you just so happen to catch a notification on one and not the other, it's going to keep you updated to when these things are going live. And I will say this, as I always do every week, plan your greatness. You know why? Yep. All right, young man, take us home. Plan your greatness. Because you know why? Because no one else will. I will see you all next week.
A young
Woke
boy
Wednesdays, Plan Your Greatness TV channel.
No one knew he was home. No one said